Greetings, beautiful soul family. This is Tarun Harry Das here in the UK, as you know, and I'm almost ready to fly back out to Portugal. But before I fly out, I thought, let me link up with Tara, who is running the Real Answers Hub. She came out to Portugal and we had a wonderful interview. And I thought, let me give her a shout, see how she's doing. Tara, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing well. It's really good to see you looking very well, looking after yourself. How's life been treating you in London?
Life has been really, really good. Kind of hectic, but then I've had my moments of still as well. But no, it's all good. It's all good. But what I'm more looking forward to more than anything is I'm going to be over in Portugal for the retreat on the 1st of May, which is a few days away. So I'm excited. I'm packed and I'm ready to go.
Yes, that's absolutely right. That's what just by the last interview that we had, and I've had so much responses from the interview. You're a great interviewer, should I say? Great persona, great line of questions, and I thought give you a special pass on this retreat that you're coming on so you can continue the work that you're doing, because I like the idea of the Real Answers Hub. And when you're stepping into unknown territories with places, sceneries, territories, terrains, retreats, things that was just uncouth or taboo in our community, in the Black community especially knowing that the philosophy of our Black spiritual path normally lies within Christianity, maybe Islam. Those are the two main strands of religious ideologies that come out of Africa, per se, in the modern day era. Is you have to look much further back to see the history of yoga, breath work, spiritual science, and the foundation of that stuff that now extends into Vedantic work and further and much beyond. And we've lost the appreciation of understanding it, how to use that work and so forth. And it's coming into retreats where we get a chance to actually put these things to practice. But like I said, there's a lot of people that are still looking for real answers about these types of practices, and it will be a great pleasure to have you on board, coming on your investigative hat, doing your studies and asking those brilliant questions that you have in regards to the ethics that we practice and the realism, the outcomes. And it would just be a pleasure to have you there in that capacity. So hopefully you welcome the invitation.
I'm there. That sounds amazing. That sounds brilliant. That is really, 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 really interesting to me, because my main mission for my channel, as you mentioned, the Real Answers Hub, is it's just to empower and uplift and connect with Black women, mainly over 50, but just through like meaningful conversation, spiritual growth is a really, really important one, especially on the journey that I'm on right now at the moment. And just talking to people and having real life experiences and share that beauty of aging with purpose, freedom and fire. Right?
Love that.
Because when you get to round about 50 or 50 and above, I think you start looking at life differently. And you start wondering, like, what is your purpose? I'm not just old. Like, society wants to tell you, okay, you're 50, you're just old now. That's it. Now just live the old. That's not true. I think that's start to think, actually reinvent myself. Can I just, go forward with much more positivity, much more energy, with a purpose that brings, that brings you excitement. It gives you that energy every day, rather than just getting old like society tells you. It's a load of rubbish.
It's a load of rubbish. I mean, I'll give you a joke. When I came 50 years old, a good friend of mine, and he's from America, he was like, things are going to change quite rapidly for you. You're going to wake up and you're going to be say like, forget all of that. Just scrap all of that. And you kind of have this attitude. I'm doing my best to keep my language clean. He didn't say it so, but he was very forthright in saying that I'm going to have this attitude of just sod it, just forget all the limiting beliefs of especially people pleasing and stuff like that, and just be yourself. Come
Yeah.
out of your shell and be you with unapologetically.
And it's
And
okay.
it's absolutely okay. You think, why didn't I do this before?
Mm,
You know, so you really start to go for life, go for living. So
yeah.
that's one of the beauties.
The real.
Yeah, and especially the idea of being worried about what people are going to say about your moves.
Hmm.
Sod
Hmm.
it. Forget it. Be you. Be the best of you. You know.
Hmm. I agree. But talking about questions, because I'm coming out to the retreat, and
Mhm.
yes, thank you so much. Like, it'd be brilliant to also go along on that journey, see what goes on behind the scenes, maybe get a little peek in the kitchen, see see what wonderful delights you preparing in there, and how that
Absolutely.
give us that energy and fill up our soul. But I've got a few questions that people have been asking specifically about retreats, so
Hmm.
I'm hit with the first one. So, how do you define wellness, and how does that shape the experience that you offer at the retreat?
So wellness as a whole is an encompassing word that when I say holistic, it's that appreciation of balance between mind, body, and consciousness. Mind, body, soul, mind, body, spirit. That soul or spirit, it's consciousness, and having regard for the unseen part of you, the non-biological part of you, and nurturing that in alignment with the temple, with the metaphysical aspect of yourself, with your neurobiological concept of being. So within our retreats, we look at, it's not just a diet retreat, it's not just a meditation retreat. There's a whole process of looking at how you think, how you feel, how you interact. It's everything, and most of all, it's really tending to that conscientious parts of you. It's when we talk about being conscientious, now that's when we're talking about being spiritual. Your conscientiousness, not consciousness, conscientious aptitude towards life. And we fine tune that and put you back in a space of self-reference to the brilliance that you are, that resonates in the core of your heart, really. The seat of consciousness that is undamaged, what is represented through all the philosophical ways as that lotus flower that sits above the mud. So the petals support the substratum, if I want to say, or the core essence of consciousness that is untouched. So you're neither your past, you're neither your experiences, you are life force.
So, what kind of practices do you offer? Like, could you walk me through what a typical day would look like, or is each one unique?
So each day, the first thing is, as per always, it's very important to start your day in the right vibration, in the right sonic frequency. So going through the meditations, going through the sound affirmations, going through the breath work, going through, especially even with breakfast and having the right type of breakfast. And then after we do the first set of works in the mornings, normally go through a prescribed, when I say prescribed, it will be, again, looking at the or judging the frequency of where the group is at. We will then pick specific satsangs, which is, if I was to translate that into
Yeah,
English, more like lectures. I don't like using the word lectures. Let's say
yeah.
conversations. So we'll pick specific conversations that are tuned to the vibration of where the group is at. So then it becomes a holistic learning hub for where everybody's learning and everyone can learn from each other. And in that same setting, we can then introduce tools, methodologies, ideologies, insight,
That leads me,
hindsight.
like, how do you foster a sense of community during the retreat, especially when everybody's a stranger? When like yours, because I'm coming along to a solo retreat, so I'm coming along by myself, so I won't know anyone. So how do you foster that sense of community with us?
So there's two ideas of a solo retreat. One of a solo retreat is when you come just by yourself for yourself and there's nobody around. When you come solo to a retreat within a gathering of people, that's another concept. So you're coming to a gathering of people solo. So the idea of bringing that interconnectedness between the whole group starts from the beginning. It starts from the very off, where, especially in the welcoming meeting, where it's put out that everybody has to understand where everybody's coming from. Everybody's growing together. There'll be no quibbling, no quarreling. Create that brotherly, sisterly bonding straight from the start and harness that, having our conversations together, especially around the dinner table, praying together, or when I say praying together, blessing the food together, coming together in congregation, making sure that we're all together before, we don't just come to the table and someone's eating before. We all eat together, we break bread together, we leave the table together. So there's certain things that are deliberately done just to make sure that there's a unity and harmony and openness. Back in the days, like you see in the Italian movies, there's a lot of things that happen around the table. That there's a knitting, there's a family growing. Can't wait, and especially if the food tastes great and so forth, and all of that stuff, because there's a science behind food as well. That when you're eating and you're conversing in a loving manner, life's optimum vibratory energetic manner, that information is actually becoming, you're webbing that information into you. It's actually becoming a part of your fabric. So you have a great morning, you sit down and you talk together. So again, it's beyond just you sitting down and contemplating things. You're taking on information from 8, 9, 10 other people. So you can't be stuck in your own thoughts. It's opening you up to more ideas and more ways of thinking, because, oh, I never thought about that. Oh, I never saw it like that. So it's not just, for instance, if I say something, it's always good to see how many different types of receptive ideas come from the one thing that I've just said. So that group, that connectivity is always important, always, all the way through. It's not just watching me doing yoga moves at the front of the class and stuff like that. I really do help to keep that interconnectedness, and plus, it's a very important skill for when you come back. That
Yeah, because I was going to ask, are there specific practices or rituals that you recommend that people take home with them?
absolutely, and from day one, because one of the things that a lot of people come trapped in it is a space of alienation. They're alienated, they've lost loved ones, they've lost friends, they've lost close ones, and they've found themselves limited. That there's not a lot of people that they can talk to. They've sort of there's a word, homeostasis, and that's where you train yourself to become disabled. And this is even in the way of communication. So when you're again in a group, it's forcing you to break the molds of the old, especially when you're with strangers. And in that loving sense that you've got strangers around you that's treating you in ways that you may not have been privy to be treated. They're treating you kind, they're treating you loving, they're treating you in a way that you're now allowing yourself to see yourself in a whole new way, in a whole new light. And it's allowing you to project yourself forward. It's allowing you to become more confident in the way that you connect. The amount of changes that we've seen in that setting, where people come with their miserable, in-shelved ways, and through communication, through the affirmations, the particular affirmations that we use.
Take it in kindness.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
changed that mold. We changed your baseline state. We changed your process of interaction and interconnectedness. And you see it by the end of the retreats, they're beautifully harmonizing with everyone around them. And the transformation, it's just powerful. It's great.
How do you personally stay inspired and energized while holding that kind of space for others?
That is a very good question. That is a very good question. And I think the only answer that I could give is actually seeing the transformation in others. That's what really gives me the inspiration. When you're growing flowers and you see little seeds, the little things that it gives you inspiration to keep gardening, keep growing, keep nurturing, keep building, keep paying more attentive awareness to the process, and being that well wisher of all, being that support. There's it's almost like the energy feeds itself. So the more that you give from a sincere, authentic place, it almost like it gives its the same energy back to replenish you,
Mm-hmm.
to just to keep applying more. The more that there's that sincerity in your energy, is beyond what you're being paid for or so forth. There's a real sincerity, that energetic transfer between people, between living life forces,
Mm-hmm.
that process of influence versus manipulation, that influential energy allows you to become more influential upon yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That you, you are a literal walking science lab. If you're vex, your chemistry is different, your energetic level is different, your energy output is different. If you're in love, these
Mm-hmm.
things can be measured in the science lab. You could literally tell by the amount of chemical releases that you have in your body. If you're excited, the adrenaline, the serotonin, these things, there's a balance of chemicals that release in your body. If you see someone that you love, and or you say you love, you're supposed to get these endorphins that release in your blood. So that can also be checked to see if you're telling the truth or you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
So, so you are literally a walking magnet, the energy that
You
you
said
carry.
first, so narrow that down, refine that for me. How do you personally stay inspired, energized, while holding that kind of space for others? Because I understand, like, you enjoy and you get the joy out of helping people and seeing them evolve and seeing them, find their self, find their purpose, gain
So
their power.
yeah, so ultimately it's doing what you love and loving what you do. And
And and how do you help guests to carry the retreat experience into their everyday lives once they leave?
well, one of the last couple of days of the retreats is really focused on, okay, now let's put this all into practice. What you've learned, we compartmentalize each aspect. We even say, okay, let's pretend this is a morning. You're woken up for work. You've got an hour for yourself to get your meditation, everything in, and blah blah. Your journaling, your 6 points to write down for the day. And we're going to really spend 10 minutes on this, 10 minutes on that. So we put it into practice to make you realize that you can actually do a worthy amount of things in the morning before you do, to make sure you have a successful, productive, attractive, like the law of attraction day, that
Mm-hmm.
you create the path of least resistance for that 24 hours, as long as you do this work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not just you learn some exercises in the name of some yoga positions. We make
Mm.
sure that all the sentiment or the essence of the philosophy of all the little things that you practice, we put it into a routine that you can actually capsulate it, and we put you through that neurological exercise that you're doing it. Here you go. You're doing it before work, or you're doing it as you wake up. Make sure you got the hang of it, the swing of it, and you realize that it's actually something that can be done and you should be doing.
Yeah, and I feel like if you do that, if you start that off at a retreat when there's no
Hmm.
distractions or anything else around you, and then you go through that process, you see that, oh, I'm going to do this when I go home. I can fit this in. This is not difficult to do. And like you said,
Absolutely.
for the whole day. But yeah, sometimes, like, if you try to learn them new practices while you're here and you've got all the hustle and bustle and you're just trying to get up and do the run of the mill things that you have to do each day, get on with all your commitments and that, you don't really feel like you got time to sit down and figure out what that is and then try to practice it and wonder if you're doing it right and if you're on the right road. Whereas if you go away to the retreat, you've got that time and that space and that peace to do that, and realize how simple little things can change your whole day, can change your whole life. They can
Absolutely.
entire life.
It's the whole domino effect.
My journey as I've really come across some stuff that that I don't know why I wasn't doing sooner. I
Is
really
it?
don't. But nothing for its time anyway. It's fine. It's fine now. I need it now. It's better now than never.
Absolutely. You know, it's something
Yeah,
that we all cross that bridge every day. So never give up learning. Never
that's
give
right.
up learning.
That's right. Knowledge is always the power.
Exactly.
Always, every age, any age.
Beautiful.
Mm.
So it's going to be wonderful having you over. It's going
Yeah,
to be
behind the scenes.
behind the scenes with Tara B on the Real Answers Hub. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And again, looking forward to, you know, probably you becoming a brand ambassador for Transcending Matters or Journey to Wellness Festival, maybe. I'm definitely in favor of embracing that.
Yeah. Transcending Matters is definitely something that that I think needs to be out there, that people need to know about. Like, it's important to your well-being, mental, physical. And I know that I probably shouldn't say this, right? But I like how it's very should I say, to be very cultural. Like,
Stay away.
yeah, there's black people there. Like, it's on a level, it's so good. You feel at home, you feel comfortable. It's easy to build that community. You feel less judgment because they're black. We're all
Exactly.
same
All
place.
learning together. And it's
So,
a humble and beautiful experience as well.
yeah,
Rather
yeah,
than just, you know, we're out partying and getting drunk and
yeah.
a whole
And
lot of profanity and stuff. It's beautiful to see.
like, when it comes to religion and that, looking for something else to save you. Do you know what I mean? Just praying for this feeling, like just praying for a better day and whatnot. You can manifest that, make that happen.
You can be that better day, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And there's so much people out there that need it and need the healing. Need the healing. Okay. Clear
Wonderful.
a little bit, ready for the next one.
Excellent. So, all right. So wonderful. It's been a magical time.
It's been brilliant.
And
Soon.
I can't wait to have you out there and have your presence at the retreat. Have your
Okay.
nose around and have a look, see what we do.
I'll come questions armed.
Questions armed. Beautiful.
Okay, you take care, brother Tarun. And
You too, my dear. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
okay. Good night.
Wonderful. Good night.